summer is kicking off. The solstice happening tonight just prior to 11 p.m. And a major heat wave is on tap, and millions, of course, going to head to the beach to try to beat all this heat.
But how do you make sure you can enjoy the sand and the surf safely? Let's bring in, yes, an expert here, Wyatt Werneth, spokesman for the American Lifeguard Association. Wyatt, so good to see you. We love having you every year. And I have to say, I'm jealous of the backdrop.
Yep.
Looking good in Florida. Let's just jump into, what is the safest way to enjoy the beach?
Good morning, Britta and Zach. It's a fine Fox weather day here. And that's a great question. We like to get everybody ready for the summer by asking them to know before you go. And let's unpack that. There's a lot in it. Most important thing, if you're going to visit a location that you may have visited in the past, because of a lifeguard shortage, you want to make sure there's a lifeguard there. Always swim in front of a lifeguard. Your chances of drowning in front of a lifeguard are 1 in 18 million. The other thing is we want to find out where there's any kind of safety devices like the one behind me. We call that the Drown Zero Project here in Florida. It's been presented by the Surfing's Evolution Preservation Foundation. And that is that if there isn't a lifeguard around, there's some flotation, which leads us into the next thing. Assign a water watcher. Know before you go, and that means who can swim in your group? Who do you need to keep an eye on? And then take and give someone a whistle or a badge and call them a water watcher and have them help protect the family in case there isn't a lifeguard around. But it's very important to know before you go.
Yeah, the water watcher coordination, obviously very helpful for families or for friends gathering along the beach just to make sure everyone remains safe. What other anticipatory things can we do, say, if there are rip currents around and we aren't always accustomed to that? Here in the Northeast, it's not as typical as what you guys have down the south. So weather watcher aside, how can we prepare for rip currents in situations like that?
Well, that's where you guys come in, Fox Weather. And we always ask everybody, check the weather. Again, that kind of unpacks with the know before you go. There's always very good warnings about rip currents up and down the coast around the country. But you want to check the weather. You want to make sure not only because if there are rip currents in the area, you don't want to go in the water, but also for lightning, the conditions. Here in Florida, if you don't like the weather, wait a minute. A storm will come rolling in out of nowhere. But if you're checking your weather, you can stay ahead of it.
And of course, pay attention to the flag system. I lived in Pensacola for about a year, and that's when I learned very much so what the purple flag means. There's some friends in there that you might not want to be friends with. So, anytime you see that purple flag, know that there could be jellyfish or sharks. That's Wyatt down in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Sir, thank you so much for joining us here on Fox Weather. Happy summer, happy beach season. Enjoy the sunshine today in Florida.
Thanks for having me. Be safe.
You too.